Hello guys, I am back from another video, and today we're talking about Deku was a Grim Reaper, or the Grim Reaper. So, in the last video Deku, after getting back to school, they were told that they're going to be doing their final exams. So, Izuku gets ready, as Izuku gets to fight All Might. So, after Izuku defeated All Might, they were told that they're going to be going to the training camp for their training so they can become stronger heroes in the process. So, after getting there, just like in canon, they were got attacked by the people, specifically like those three like heroes being the Wild Pussycats. But they managed as they came to the training camp. As after Izuku changed into his clothes and while seeing you know, his little Johnson. Anyway, so after Izuku gets to his, tent, it turns out that Izuku is going to be sleeping with Todoroki. And if you don't know, Todoroki is disguising as a guy, but in actuality, she is a girl. So the night was pretty much, awkward. And so we ended up that video at that point. So let us begin. And so let's talk about what happens next. And also, before we start the video, I also made a poll on my, community tab. And this is actually kind of a big one. This. I told all of you guys that I may be planning to make some what ifs about Belle from Danmachi, or the literal title over there, because I recently started watching it on, a certain site. I'm not going to be telling you the name, mostly because, it's a sketchy website, but Danmachi was actually a pretty good anime. Even though I didn't finish season 2 yet, I'm still going to be watching it. I couldn't find season 3, so yeah. Anyway, I'm maybe planning to make these types of what ifs, so I'm not really ready yet to make the Belle what ifs, but if you wanted to ask, what type of what ifs should I make about Belle, just, comment down below here, and I will do it. And also, before we actually start, comment on this video, and also like and subscribe so you can support my channel and things like that. So let's actually start the actual what if. So everybody wakes up as they started training. Izuku was training on his, scythe, and also learning how to use his swords better, being the swords that were given to him by the Angel of, I think it was Strength? Yeah, the Angel of Strength and... Sorry, I'd forgotten his name. I think his name was Raphael, I think? Yeah, Raphael. So, as when Ezekiel was training, Tiger doesn't want to, fight him. Just because, he literally defeated demons countless times. And after seeing the news where he literally brutalized both, Barbados and, what's his name? Alachino, he doesn't want to fight Izuku at all. So, when Class 1B arrives, they see Izuku training as they think back to Izuku defeating those demons. As for, Ibara, she comes up to Izuku as she asks Izuku if she can join the, the demon fighting force or the church. But Izuku just tells her to just become a normal person. And trust me, becoming a, disciple of God also means discarding your old life. Especially if it's for a person you love. Izuku also tells her to just tells his, advisor or something, or just tell like somebody from the church to let her join. But it would be hard for her. But she still insists that she wants to join with the permission of Izuku because he seems pretty powerful and also seems to be quite in charge of that certain church just because he's, has and also was given the blessing of Azrael. But Izuku just tells her to just, ignore him and also just tells her to, stop annoying him. Many of her classmates also wanted to ask Izuku that if they were to try and fight a demon, what would happen? As Izuku just tells them to just piss off because he's currently training. They were a bit mad, so they just decided to, just leave him alone. So, after that little interaction, it's almost time for the, wait for a second, test of courage. So, after they finished dinner, they were told to go outside and told to wear like tracksuits and many civilian type suits. As when they got there, they were told that they're gonna be doing the the um test of courage. So everybody was told that they're gonna be doing the test of courage, and they were also told that they're gonna be picking teams, or they're gonna be grouped up. So Yuzuku has like a person with him, and that person was Todoroki. So everybody started watching both of them, locking arms, but none of them don't know that like Todoroki is actually a girl, so they thought it was kind of gay. I mean, I don't mind that. I mean, I had a gay classmate, but I used to, bully him sometimes. But now I kind of respect him for, being himself. So I stopped, stop being, that type of person. So don't worry, I am not that type of person. And besides, I made an OC that's a lesbian, so beep. Anyway, so Izuku starts going into the forest with Todoroki, as they were told to go to the forest, and if they were scared, they're allowed to go back to the training camp. So, after going into the forest, it felt a bit strange, like the atmosphere felt a bit, weird. Izuku was walking around with, Todoroki locking arms, as Izuku just says this. Todoroki, is it is it okay if I just call you like her and she because nobody's around? As she says this. Um sure. As Ezekiel just says this. Good. I'm really sorry for what I did during the as she says this. Don't worry. It wasn't too personal, but it felt weird. I never had a boy, you know, um, doing that type of thing to me. As Ezekiel just says this. Can you please rephrase that? As she says this. Oh, sorry. Um, I never felt a boy ever liking me. Or, but mostly girls mostly liked me just because I looked so powerful. And mostly because my father being the number two hero, many girls wanted to, join into my family. As Ezekiel just says this. Makes sense. As she says this. But for you, a guy who actually treats me like a girl, it actually makes me happy. As Ezekiel just says this. Wait, really? As she says this. Yeah, it makes me happy that a person like you would ever like me. Hmm. She kind of smiles. As Ezekiel just says this. Todoroki. They start leaning closer and closer. until they were interrupted by the sounds of screams. As Izuku just says this, "What was that?" As Todoroki says this, "Dang it." As they see a large portal. Not the League of Villains, by the way, because, after what happened in um, in the sports festival, well, let's just say All for One is now in hiding ever since, Shigaraki was apart by, um, wait for a second, was ripped apart by Andros and the rest of the demons. So, demons start pouring from this, portal as a demon appears, calling himself Dekarabia. The appearance of this demon resembles a man with one eye and star imagery all over his body, as he says this, "I am Dekarabia. It's nice to meet you. But I'm sorry, but I don't want you to live, Mr. Izuku Midoriya. The great herald, the servant of the angel Azrael. Now, before you die, I wanted to ask, who or what do you love? Why do you ever want to join the side of humans? Not not like a question like, because I am human as well. Tell me a real question. Why do you work with these pathetic humans?" As Izuku just says this, "It's God's will. It's God's will that I will protect humanity, just like the heroes. But you wouldn't understand because you're demons, freaks of nature." As he says this, "Very well. I shall destroy..." As Dekarabia, wait for a second. As Dekarabia gets cut off, as his body starts rotting away, as he says this, "No, no, he got to me." As he turns into nothing but bone. The rest of the demons started running away, but they were turned into maggots and insects. As Izuku just says this, "Don't tell me that." As for... Wait for a second. As Todoroki says this, "What happened to the demons? Was that you, Izuku?" As Izuku just says this, "No, but I know which person is able to do this. And it's not a demon. It's an angel." As she says this, "Do you mean an actual angel? Like angels that you were talking about?" As Ezekiel just says this, "Yeah, judging by the locusts, it's..." As a angel appears, this angel seems to be beautiful. Yeah, he's wearing a white robe with a priest's outfit, like under it. He wields a book as he has a flaming torch that's upside down. Like, the flame is basically upside down. As he says this, "I am Abaddon, the angel that protects hell, but a gatekeeper of hell as well. These demons keep pouring out of it. It makes me disgusted. So, you must be a worshipper of the angel Azrael, my brother." As Izuku just says this, "Yes, Mr. Abaddon." As he says this, "Very well. Anyway, I have much more important business. Taking down these demons. Will you join me, or are you going to take care of the other humans, protecting them?" As Izuku just says this, "Isn't it obvious?" As he says this, "Your resolve makes me feel astonished at humans, humans' hearts." Sorry about that. Wait. As he flies away, taking down the rest of the demons, as Izuku starts going to a different area to, save some, people, being several students. These students were saved by Izuku After Izuku, cut them down, the demons, which were pretty low level, maybe like Ukabaches and maybe some higher level demons, maybe like, nightmares. And if you don't know, nightmares are actually considered a type of demon, in fact. Apparently, they're originally called mares, I think? I can't remember, but that's how the word nightmare came from. It's basically comes from the word mare, which is a demon, and the other is, night, being the time when you go to sleep. Anyway, so after Izuku kills all of these demons, Izuku tells everybody to go back to the camp so that he can talk to Abaddon. As one of the Class 1B students, being the Mushroom Girl, says this. Abba what? As Abaddon appears, as he says this. It's nice to meet you. I am Abaddon, the angel that protects Hell and also Hell's gatekeeper. I'm really sorry for my absence and letting these demons pour out. And I'm really sorry for what I did. So please forgive me, you humans. As one of them being, Aizawa says this. So, you're a gatekeeper of hell? I meant a gatekeeper of hell? As he says this. Yes, me and Orcus, a demon that decided to try and kill me, were battling out. But during the fight, it caused the gates of hell to open, causing several demons to appear and attack. So I'm really sorry for what I did. So please, forgive me. As one of them, being one of the Wild Wild Pussycats, which I can't remember her name, says this. Don't worry, you're just like a hero, just like us. So, don't be hard on yourself. As he says this. Thank you, mortal girl. Anyway, I'm going back to hell, so I can reclose the gate, and finish off my battle with Orcus. As Izuku just says this. Anyway, so, is there any problems with, Hell's hierarchy? I heard that several demons were trying to attack. Apparently they wanted to, and I quote, take over Hell to become the brand new king. As he says this. Yeah, that. Apparently there was a coup. A coup against Lucifer. Apparently, Leviathan killed Lucifer by ripping off his heart, tearing it from his body, and trying to get the throne, and becoming the brand new king of hell. That's why everything has been so rowdy, and that is why several demons have appeared around the world. And it's all my fault. As Izuku just says this. Can I join you in this fight? As he says this. Very well, if you're ready, but I do need permission from Azrael and the other 7 archangels. As Izuku just says this. Okay, as Izuku bows down to Abaddon, as Izuku just says this. I swore to protect humanity, including everybody, and that is my job as a warrior of heaven. A person that protects the world. I am a Grim Reaper, and it's my job to cut down demons and make them pay for daring to touch humanity and tainting it with their evil deeds. As Abaddon says this, yes, yes, just like a true warrior. I like you, kid. Now, I want you to prepare. If I come back, that would mean that you're allowed to go to hell with me. But I will allow you to bring some other people. Maybe even some people from other, factions. As Izuku just says this. Do you mean the other churches that worship the other archangels? As he says this. Correct. As Abaddon disappears. Everybody after seeing this, after Ibarra seeing this, She tried to ask, well, Abaddon before she can leave. I meant he can leave, but he already left. But Ibarra started crying her ass off, saying, I want to become an angel as well. I want to join Izuku. As Izuku just looks over and sees the crying girl and just ignores her. So, Izuku came back home after that and tells his entire church about this whole situation. As one of them, being the head priest, says this. So, demons have been pouring out ever since a coup happened. As Izuku just says this. Correct. So, I need some people to help me out. So, can you call upon some other members? Other members that are representatives or, you know, Grim Reapers like me, or at least equivalents to Grim Reapers, to take down these stupid demons and lock them up forever. As he says this, well, I could try, but for now, you should start acting as a hero for now. Maybe you can even bring some heroes to help you out. As Izuku just slams his hands onto the table and says this. I do not want anybody to get associated with this mission, except for those that are representing the church. As he says this, Izuku, I've never seen you this emotional. As Izuku just says this. Yeah, ever since I met my classmates, they been giving me emotions. Emotions that I've never felt before. Happiness, even sadness, and maybe even having fun. As he says this. So must be that girl, right? Miss Todoroki? As Izuku just says this. How do you know that's a girl? As he says this. Oh, we already know. The church is pretty easy to see, what is a girl or not. It's pretty obvious. Ever since that Johanna incident during the 18th century, we've been looking out and seeing if a person is actually a boy or a girl. As Izuku just says this. Oh yeah, the Johanna incident. And if you don't know what is the Johanna incident, well, Persona 5 is like Makoto's, persona being Johanna. If you check out the lore for her and the actual legend of surrounding her, well, she was the first female pope. Yeah, the first female pope. But after she was discovered as a girl, well, she was executed. Yeah, that was a bit dark. But ever since that Johanna incident, let's just say the church in that world, in My Hero Academia's world, or at least in this world, well, they decided to take extra precautions to see if a man is actually a man or a woman is actually a woman, in case if it happens again. And so that is why they know that Todoroki is actually a boy, aka Shoto Todoroki, as in she, he is not a she. I meant she is not a he. It's actually a girl. Yeah. So, after that, stern talking, Izuku started preparing, getting ready for the final battle, so he can get rid of the world's most dangerous evils, being the demons. So, this will be the end of this episode. But before you leave, comment, subscribe, and like so you can support my channel, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye!